Today we'll be discussing newsletter copywriting. And this is another training in my email marketing series. I feel like you can never discuss emails too much when it comes to e-commerce or writing for clients. Email is always going to be a big driver of sales. And if you are struggling to increase sales for your business or for a client, you start with emails. And like I said, the principle always is the more emails you send, generally, the more revenue you will generate. You have to do this in a way that doesn't annoy your list and burn out your list. And you want to keep your deliverability high. So you want to avoid spam complaints. I would say my philosophy on email marketing is this. Whatever you send, it doesn't matter what you send, a discount code, some new promotion, value, entertainment, every email you send, once your list is large enough, you'll always have people unsubscribing. And so I would never worry about people unsubscribing. It's going to happen. And let's be honest, if people are unsubscribing, they weren't going to buy from you anyway in the future. So it's fine for them to go. So when you send the content you want to send out to your email list, it's a great way to filter out the people you don't want on your list. You want people who will be happy to hear from you, the people who want to open your emails and read them. And so there are two things to this. Number one, you have to send content that people want to read, emails that people want to open and read. And number two, you want people on a list who are actually interested in hearing what you have to say. And so writing newsletters or just sending out different types of campaigns is always going to be a great tactic to being able to send out emails more frequently. And so there are businesses out there that send a lot of newsletter style emails out. And these emails are not direct pitches. I would say that in the last few email trainings, we've really focused on promoting offers in the emails. And so I want to show you a different style of sending out campaign emails that are more in the newsletter format. So let's get right into it. First up, we have an email from BioTrust. I've shared a lot of their emails in the past, and I think they do a good job of aggressively sending emails out. In this case, we have an email, top 10 supplements for supporting the immune system. And this is more in a newsletter format because they cover a variety of topics. So for example, favorite recipe we tried this week, and you can see they're not pitching anything. It's just, valuable information for the subscriber. Best of what customers are saying. Okay, so you got some social proof, and you can click here to get more information on one of their products. So some gentle selling there, not aggressively pitching in the emails I've shown in the past from them. Catch us live, they'll do a Q&A, it's building a sense of community. You've got the favorite recipes. Now they're going live on Instagram and Amazon. You're going to do a little giveaway if you give them a video testimonial, promoting one of their blog articles, just, adding value, covering a variety of different topics. And then finally at the bottom, they pitch another product. So something like this, where you have promoting blog articles or giveaways, some nutrition tips, or tips for whatever business your industry is in. Sending this kind of email can be very effective, and I would say that a campaign email like this, you can send it once or twice a week. I would say if you haven't implemented a newsletter into your business, you should try at least once a week in the beginning. And cover a variety of different topics, anything that would be of interest to your subscribers. And if you're doing skincare, you can talk about top 10 skincare ingredients to avoid. You can talk about other blog articles you've written, best way to exfoliate. If you're in nutrition, you can do something like this where you're sharing recipes. Basically anything that your ideal customer would be interested in. Make sure you're creating content around that. And it's a gentle way of selling, because the more content you create, the more content your subscribers consume, whether it's through email or a link they click through to. It's important to indoctrinate your customers and get them used to consuming your content, because the more that happens, the more likely it is they're going to turn into first time and then repeat buyers. So make sure you're sending out these kind of newsletters. It works really well. You don't have to do hard selling in every single email. Even the story-based emails, where you tell a story, transition into a sales pitch. Those are good to send out multiple times a week, but sometimes it's good to vary it up with a newsletter format. So if we just go back and check out another email, this is coming from the financial copywriting world. This is an Agora company, Stansberry Research. You can see this is very high value. They're basically putting out almost like a newsletter report or an alert. So it just goes into detail about their views on the market, and it reads almost like analysis, like almost like a magazine article or something you'd see in a financial publication. So they're talking about Walmart, they're talking about earnings, really digging deep into a variety of topics, whatever's going on in current events with the markets. So real detailed market analysis. And obviously, if you're signed up to this newsletter, you're probably really interested. It's like almost like CNBC in print, right? So you're staying on top of things, and if you really value Stansberry's perspective, you're going to read this email. And even if you're not buying anything, whether newsletters or one of their programs, which can run into like the 5-figure range, you're reading these emails on a daily or weekly basis. You're going to see, an increase in sales that way, because people are consuming your content, they respect your opinion, your analysis, and eventually they're going to buy. So this is interesting because it's financial copywriting. I don't know if there's any of you are into financial copywriting, but you can draw upon the elements here from financial copywriting, which is, they provide analysis of current events, they provide important information. And I will say this, I think that talking about current events is a great way to come up with content for your weekly emails, or however many times you send the email out. We've talked about how you can take current events, tell a story around them, and use them to pitch your products. So yes, you may not be writing about the markets and doing financial analysis, but if you are writing about current events, then it's very easy to come up with content every day or on a weekly basis. And so an email I showed in a prior training was about Trump getting high, and it was about how he signed the Farm Bill and what that means for CBD and transition into a sales pitch. So you can take something the government did, something that happened in current events. You can take anything interesting in the entertainment world, in sports, and turn it into an email. So that style might be a little different from this long form analysis, but if you are in a niche where you can analyze current events or have something to really go in depth on, feel free to do that. And even for an e-commerce business, if you can provide maybe not as in-depth and long-form analysis like this, if you can provide something similar to this in a more short-form way, I think it would benefit your newsletter and campaigns. And if you just scroll down, you'll see one of the interesting things about this email is that as you scroll down, you'll see little boxes like these where they are pitching some kind of offer, and you don't realize it's an offer because they're asking you to click to watch this video, which is probably some form of analysis of a sovereign debt crisis, and it looks like more like a CNBC report, like something that you'd see on market analysis on TV. And so you don't realize this is actually an offer. So yes, you have the analysis up here of current trends in the market, but then you also have a little offer like this. So this is an element that you could also include in your newsletter. You can include, boxed in separate sections where you promote a different offer. And it's a great way to do some gentle selling. You're giving value to the customer, but at the same time, you're also pitching your products. It's kind of like the newsletter that we saw from BioTrust, where one thing was value, another was value, giveaway, and then boom, you have an offer that you're kind of gently selling in the middle of the email. So including offers like that in the middle is always a great tactic, and that's what they do here as well. And scrolling down, you can other recommended links. It doesn't read much like a pay, like a promotion of anything. It's just more like value just for being on the list. And that's what you want. You want people to feel like they're getting value from the list. You want to feel like you want your customers or subscribers to feel like they look forward to opening up your emails. And emails like this is what's going to get the open rates. People are really interested in hearing from you, and that's what you want as a business. Another thing I'll mention here is value is a very vague term. You don't have to provide value as in knowledge or information or some kind of cutting edge analysis. Value can also be just a new perspective, a new way to look at things, maybe an analogy. You can make an analogy or something like that, or provide some kind of update, even entertain someone. As long as somebody opens the email and then reads the email and says, I'm glad I opened that email, that's value. You don't have to provide cutting edge analysis of anything. You don't have to do this. But if you can get someone to open the email, and this is advice not just for newsletters, this is in general, if you can provide some kind of entertainment, or as I have always said, infotainment, information combined with entertainment, people are going to want to hear from you. They will want to open your emails and read them because they're entertained. And so think about the emails that you open up and all the personal brands that you get emails from. They're entertaining, they're interesting, they communicate in a different way, they put things in different perspectives. They'll give you a new way to think about things. That's really all you need to do. I don't think that you have to always provide in-depth analysis like this, but this is financial analysis, market research, whatever. It obviously works in this niche, but this is just another example where one of my favorite strategies is to take something that's working in a different industry and use that and apply it to my industry. And so this is where, yes, it's not going to be a complete, you can't really apply this directly to your business, but you can take certain elements of this kind of newsletter format and apply it to your business. So with that being said, I think I've said pretty much everything I had to say on newsletters, and hopefully this is a tactic that you can implement in your business or for your clients.